Good evening, friends, and welcome to FCTV's Poetic License October 2023 edition. This is an open mic where we share live original poetry, prose, spoken word, and acoustic music. My name is Donna Shear. I'm your host. I am also the spirit of Halloween present. And that's because the suggested theme tonight is spirits. Isn't Falmouth nice? Isn't FCTV nice? All the interesting information about what's happening in our town and the surrounds. But the big excitement is that we're going to have an FCTV community media block party. It's a celebration of our 30th anniversary, and everybody's invited. Everybody's invited. It's Saturday, November 18th from 1 to 4, right here at the FCTV studio and outside on Dillingham Avenue. Oh my goodness, Kurt Achen was telling me about what is going to happen that day, and there's so much happening. There's going to be music, a DJ, live performers like the wonderful guitarist Pat Ryan, several food trucks, including Bo Peeps and the popular Filling Station. Both of them serve gastropub-style food, yum, yum, yum. There's going to be community performers, a dozen nonprofit organizations sharing their information with everyone, the Falmouth Library Book Bike, oversized games outside like cornhole, and inside there's even more. Demonstration of the green screen, an anime demo, and a tarot card reader. Woohoo! During the third hour, there will be a live broadcast, which will include a surprise choral reading by some of your friends from Poetic License. So again, save the date. It's Saturday, November 18th from 1 until 4 at FCTV Studio on Dillingham Ave. Now, FCTV is a nonprofit organization. Donations are always accepted and appreciated. But another way to show your appreciation and donating is to become a member of FCTV, become a member of the family. And the single membership is still only $30 a year. $30, 30 years. Cool. And keep in mind, there's a long list of businesses that offer discounts when you show your card. And now, on with the show. Hello, performers. I am so happy to see your sweet faces. And hello, audience members. Welcome for joining us tonight. We love to have friends come and visit with us. Let's see, there's a 4-minute time limit. I'll introduce you by name. Please repeat your name before you begin. And now I'm going to start us off. October is definitely my favorite month of the year. And as a kid, Halloween was my favorite holiday. Who can go wrong with candy and costumes? I'm still that way. I never outgrew it. I've been studying a written form, and this is a result of it. The poem is based on a wonderful memory from my childhood in Illinois. The poem is 13 lines long, but it's only one sentence in total. It's called High Spirits, October. High Spirits, October. Our very own burning bush sends smoke skyward like released apparitions, as our tribe leans in towards the circle of leaves that smolder, char, scorch, then blaze a spotlight on our moon-eyed faces, rosy with youth and autumn, as we retell a spine tingling tale featuring a coffin and cough drops, while a father, the one who struck the match, watches from a distance, tries to light his spark off our magic, children spellbound by the wonder of spirits blazing high in the night. Thank you. It's one of my favorite memories. All right, so happy to see Chris Foisey here tonight. She's going to come up and show us what she's got.
Hi, my name is Christine Foisey, which does rhyme with noisy. So much to do, so little time. Writing poems to make them rhyme. Busy this month in a busy year, so only one short poem is all you'll hear. And it is, once I turn the page, Under the Harvest Moon. Serenely sitting on Minot Beach, stars twinkle just beyond reach. Winter will be here soon, under the awesome harvest moon. Sounds of waves gently lapping, distant coyotes howling and yapping, harmonious blending a melodic tune under the mesmerizing harvest moon. Fragrant campfires mix with salty smells, weaving magical Halloween spells. Warm, soft sands, for all there is room, under the majestic harvest moon. Invigorating breezes, fresh and clean, ghostly apparitions might be seen, hauntingly causing some to swoon under the bewitching harvest moon. This is my favorite time of year. Ever so wondrous, it's finally here. Fast it leaves way too soon, but happy for now under the enchanting harvest moon. Thank you.
Thanks, Christine. Now, you said you only had one poem, but actually, your introduction was also a poem. So, thank you for both of those. That was awesome. All righty. And now, Ellen Todd.
I'm Ellen Todd. My husband does the limericks. I write prose. Tonight, I'm going to share two true ghost stories. Years ago, we were at a friend's house for a small party. As usual, the kids retreated upstairs to hang out. At one point, I wandered away from the party to the unoccupied family room. From the back staircase in that room, I heard a faint voice. "Help! Help me! Help me! Please help me!" I wondered what was going on, but I didn't hear anything more. And then I heard the kids laughing, so I figured everything was okay. When they came downstairs to join us for food, I asked what had been going on, expecting that they got a little carried away with tickling or something like that. They said, "We didn't say anything like that." I said, No, come on, you can tell the truth. You're not gonna... No, we didn't. It was pretty obvious. They did not say this. Then our friend said to us, "Well, actually, our house is haunted. We have seen this ghost. We think there was a fire here many decades ago and somebody probably died in it. And every once in a while, we'll hear her or see her. She's friendly, but she's here. We've gotten used to her." I probably would not have believed them about this if it hadn't been for something that had happened to me about 30 years earlier. It was around 1974. I was married to my first husband, and we were living in Ohio. We wanted to buy a farm, but we didn't have any money. My parents were trying to figure out what they wanted to do when they retired. They said, "Why don't we buy the farm, you can farm it, and we'll make sure there's a space to build us our own house when we retire." That sounded good, so we went off looking at properties, sometimes joined by my younger sister. We went to look at a property in Coshocton, Ohio, kind of in the center of the state, sort of a middle of nowhere kind of place, not a lot going on. And we went to see this one property. It was up on a hill, kind of a cute little Victorian farmhouse, but we weren't allowed to go inside the house unless we made an offer on the house. Well, my sister and I tried peering in all the windows we could. On one side, there was a porch all along the outside wall, so we could get a good view of the living room. We couldn't quite figure out where the kitchen was or the dining room or anything else. And we kind of said, it's kind of odd. All the furniture is covered with sheets. What's going on? In the meantime, my mother went off with the realtor to check out the barn and the oil and gas wells. Not a bad idea. Oil wells and gas wells paid enough royalty, they would have covered a mortgage. This had to be the right place. My father and my husband went off to check out the land. Eventually, we all came back together and were like, something feels kind of spooky about this place. And my husband and my father said, there's all sorts of holes dug out in the field. What's that about? And my mother just said, no, this is not the right place. And we're like, are we sure? It should be the right place. We can afford it with all those royalties. The realtor, we all climbed into his sedan. Remember when you could fit 6 people in a sedan? This was that kind of big car. And he said, are you absolutely certain that you don't want this place? Positive. It just felt spooky and creepy. No way. So in that case, I'm going to tell you about the place. The guy who used to live here used to call the local car dealers and say, I'd like to test drive some car. They'd meet him, test drive the car. He'd murder them, drive the car around for a while, and then possibly dump the car somewhere after burying their bodies on the farm. That was the story we were told. Years later, I decided to do a little research. I found out he didn't have the story quite right. Not totally wrong, but not quite right. There was a man living there who murdered people. The last person he murdered was a car dealer. He got the man to bring him a Hudson. So this was 1954, brand new Hudson. He killed the guy, bashed him over the head with a broken branch, and buried his body. This man had small children and a wife. The next day, she reported him missing. The police went around looking, and they found his body in a shallow grave on the farm. They also found 2 more bodies of people who had been buried much earlier. There's rumors in that town that there might be more bodies, either on the farm or elsewhere. They've never been found. That property, which was owned by the murderer's sister, never did sell until it was bought by a mining company and it was strip mined. But I think about this place once in a while and the creepy, creepy feeling I had, and I wonder, were we feeling the spirits of these poor murdered men? I have to believe that we were. It made me believe in ghosts.
Ooh, that was awesome. I thought maybe we should have turned the lights down a little bit and set a bonfire here in the middle, because that's the way it should be done. That was awesome. Wow. All right, Elaine Robinson.
Hey, I'm Elaine Robinson, and I have 4 poems. My first poem is going to keep with the spirit theme a little bit differently, okay, but definitely a spirit. It's called Ancient Spirits. A feeling of quiet. Koi swims slowly, as if the water contains magic. The cool, fresh air rises from a life, affirming home. Fish from the past, moving colors of orange, white, black spots. Ancient spirits call the pond home. Each spring they come forth after being asleep under winter's spell. A human consumes the feeling of an existence other than man, a body of water beyond the material world. Beautiful girl swims to the surface. Her long, flowing white fins guide her to food. She accepts gracefully, returns to flowering plants. Strong and faithful, the wind and rain revitalize her inner self. She blows bubbles to the surface. Her human awaits, admiring beauty in motion. Handsome boy is bright orange. He rests under sunlight. Elegance shining in ripples. Ancient spirits, who are ambassadors of nature, create human smiles every spring. And this came forth, a friend of mine had a koi pond, and she showed me her pond, and then this came, as I say, I don't know where this came from, and it came after observing her pond. Okay, the next three poems have to do with Halloween from a little bit of a different perspective. Okay, this one here is, "Arise, O great veggies. A bright yellow moon rises over goblins, ghosts, and bats. It is the night of treats, sugar, empty calories. The garden awakens, the pepper dances, a tomato runs, while corn laughs loudly. The happy veggies chase frightened children, shouting, 'We are the ones,' full of good things. The pepper increases in size, while the corn kernels fly, hitting small witches. A jack-o'-lantern is appalled. He chases the gang of vitamin C and falls over a cliff. Throughout the night, as the moon scowls, fruits and veggies dance and sing. Vampires hide, ghosts fly away. A healthy Halloween is not supposed to be." Okay, so now you're familiar with my obsession with writing about mermaids. So, of course, we have to have a mermaid Halloween, okay? We can't leave the mermaids out. So, this is Mermaid Halloween. She sees the pumpkins, she sees the bats, she swims with ocean witches, meows amidst from shoreline cats. She shouts, "It is not my holiday," but dresses as a pirate human who has lost his merry way. Scores of smiling, gored faces watch the dancing mermaid as she organizes seahorse races. "Happy Halloween," she shouts through waves. "Join our festivities under salty ocean as sea goblins arise from watery graves. Ghosts of those who have passed on swim today, singing a joyous song." And then the last one, again, continuing a little bit with the healthy theme. This is Grandpa's Choppers. "Clack, clack, off the mantle they fly. Grandpa's choppers chase ghouls and ghosts into the night. His dentures, his treasure, come alive on All Hallows' Eve, a spirit of protection for the family he loves. This holiday of jack-o'-lanterns, his favorite, often dressed as a carrot for veggies he consumed after placing his dentures in their rightly place. Next, he passes out the orange vegetable to trick-or-treaters, stating they need to see in the dark. Little vampires, witches, werewolves, and an occasional bunny dart away with a healthy prize. Grandpa smiles, his teeth gleaming in the night. Laughter floats around in chuckles until the next awakening of false teeth under a bright yellow moon on the path of tricks, treats, and denture cream. Okay? Don't know where these come from, don't know how my brain works, but that's mine.
I love them all, Elaine. But I have to say, right, Disney? Dancing vegetables? What a movie that would make, animated movie. I'm serious. It's a great idea. I don't think they've done something like that. All right. Now, Gary Foisey, we have to give him a big round of applause. This is his first time on Poetic License, so welcome, welcome, welcome.
Not too nervous.
Oh, good. Well, I told Christine that I would drag you up if you didn't come by yourself, so come on up here.
This is, yeah, this should work. This is a gadget that I just bought, and it's called a Wii Verbois. So I'm trying this out. I've been playing around with it at home, and I kind of find it interesting. So we'll see how it goes. All right, that's. I'm gonna do a. I'm kind of a campfire song guy, unless I'm with my companion there and playing rock and roll. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Oh, let's see. What are we going to do? Let's see. Okay. I'm going to throw a little, see how this works out.
What a great, great time to have you here. You know, we need the campfire back now because of that. That would be wonderful. Thank you. I tried the harmonica for a while when I was younger, and I just ended up with too much spit. That was. All right, and another fine musician, Wayne Stuke.
Make sure people can hear me. Okay. How's that? Can tell you if you can hear me? Ready, just go. Okay. Go for it. I hear the sounds upstairs in my office, so I run upstairs to catch him in the act. But they're never there. When I head off to bed after a movie, I hear knocking sounds by the stair and turn out the lights. Nobody around anywhere. Minutes later, a noise in the basement, and I'm running down hobbit-sized stairs. Yup, sure enough, nobody was there. At 3 a.m., a blinking light shines through the bedroom curtains, whipping open the curtains. Of course, nobody's there. The house is 86 years old now. 15 years older than me. Its frame creaks and snaps and changes in the weather. Same kind of sounds before I go running that come out of me. So I wonder if there are spirits here. Why don't they come out in the daylight? What do they got to fear? So before the closure of this sleep-deprived day, I pour a gin and tonic and sit on one of 2 deck chairs, gazing out at boats on the shimmering bay. Now a seabird lands beside me on my dad's favorite spot to stay. And then I see my dad raise his glass high to toast the passing day. But I don't believe in spirits. Must be some things in my eye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, John Jackson, you've had a very busy week writing limericks. Good for you.
Yes, it's been rather a month for people who write political humor. But first, about spirits. Palimpsest. Places and faces replaced and refaced. We write where others have written, erased. We paint on canvases recovered and scraped. When ancestors reappear as descendants guessed, it is as a palimpsest. So, my name is John Jackson. I do limericksofprotest.com. That's my gig. And one thing different this month, my number one critic over there, the teller of ghost stories, she notices that on the website I have a title for all these limericks, so she wants me to read the title first. So, heading back all the way back to September 28th, do you remember back that far? A writer writes, "A writer made a cuneiform slab, made immortal his own gift of gab. While the writers were on strike, I wrote what I like. Do my limericks make me a scab?" Punt. A last-minute deal has been struck, 45 days funding to duck. The debate on our spending is, of course, never ending, and this time Ukraine's out of luck. Nonpartisan partisan. McCarthy made a funding deal. Now he has to stop his own steal. Nobody hates like Representative Gates, who's decided that he wants the wheel. No words. McCarthy, tarred, feathered, and dragged. His successor has not yet been tagged. Speaker Trump, some suggest, would lead the House best, but he's busy, and besides, he's been gagged. Coexistence or no existence, which is a quote from Piet Hein. Israel attacked by Hamas responds with the strength they amass. Palestine, Israeli need reminders daily. It's their homeland also, alas. Columbus Day. Crossed the sea with the trade winds a-blowin', found no spices, no natives worth knowin'. There are those some among us canonizing Columbus, patron saint of not going where one's going. Losing my cool. When I brought groceries in from my car, I found my freezer door standing ajar. An impromptu frosting. When I think what it's costing, I'm sad there's no ice for my bar. History. The kibbutzim invaded and pounded. Israeli Defense Force has Gaza surrounded, and they could turn Gaza to a rubble-filled plaza against the faith in which they were founded. Rules and decorum, he'll flaunt 'em. Judges and jurors, he'll taunt 'em. But if he's convicted, it may be predicted the Republics may find they don't want him. Sad. This week we read in the news, Hamas is attacking the Jews. Israel fighting back is poised to attack, a war everybody will lose. The president is in Tel Aviv to support Netanyahu, I believe. There's not time to call on the old Wailing Wall, but there's plenty of reason to grieve. His legal team. A guilty plea from Sidney Powell in Georgia. She threw in the towel. She will testify, no need to ask why. Her old client can do nothing but howl. His legal team, part 2. A second Trump lawyer, Ken Chesbrough, broke election laws in Georgia. He says so. And his contribution to the prosecution? Testimony from a former Presbro. Still no speakers. Start over again. 9 candidates, possibly 10. The message they're sending, federal spending, will run out long before then. The problem with political limericks is they have a very short shelf life. That one is probably gone. Silence is golden. Even when under a gag, he can boast, cajole, threaten, and brag. His campaign does best when he claims he's oppressed, and the contributions go into his bag. Veto. Nominated, and then he withdrew. Clearly something he didn't want to do. Representative Emmer must have felt a slight tremor when called rhino by you-know-who. And this morning, the more things change, the more they stay insane. The House has elected Johnson as Speaker. The choices left were rather meager. A Trump surrogate was the best they could get. Bipartisanship, never bleaker. Now, about a week and a half ago, my mother, whom Donna knows, writes her children and says, I've got an appointment to see a man who specializes in the intravenous surgery of the tricuspid valve, so maybe we can fix this leak in my heart. We can't fix mom's leaky valve with pills, potions, lotions, or salve. Who can be trusted to fix her tricuspid? Do we have enough clams to buy valves? Thank you.
Thank you, John. That was a roller coaster. We were up, we were down, we were up, we were down. But that's it was that kind of a month. You are absolutely right. But thank you. Patricia Austin, come on up.
I think so. Can you hear me? Don't tell me I'm shorter than you, Donna. There we go. Okay, I'm Patricia Austin, and I have 2 short poems and a short posé, which is what I call a poetical essay. There, but for the grace of God, and the pull of the moon, and the wish of the earth, go we. There, but for the Spirit of God mixed with the mud and the movement of spheres, we stand. For should the moon say, "Sorry, Mother, I'm leaving," taking with it the joyous power of attraction, leaving behind the desolation of depression on the mother, the ancient future knots that find her might scrape DNA from the crevices of her withered, wizened face, claiming there may have been life here once, but it's hard to definitively say. UFO-logy. Ufology marks our need for fantasy. There may be others out there, but not as we demand they be. The big disturbance in our common force is changing man's mind to a higher course. Till then, we'll take our spatial excursions in the dark that we seek for truth among diversions. And this little posé. What will it take? Kafka said, by believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. Unquote. If that is true, obviously we have not desired peace. We have not desired truth. We haven't desired equality and hope and the well-being of all mankind. Obviously, many have desired the good of the few. They and their own over a veil of the many. In fact, many among us have desired their own over all other peoples of the world and the earth itself, our home. Einstein said, Quote, a human being is part of a whole, called by us universe. He experiences himself as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Unquote. What will it take for us to desire prosperity for all mankind and the will to nurture and care for all of nature? What will it take for us to desire help for our neighbors as well as ourselves? To desire hope and truth and kindredship with all. What will it take for us to desire God? And that's it.
Thank you, Patricia. We must desire it to bring it into being. The laws of attraction, that's what I'm hearing. And whatever you call requesting, whether it's prayers or entreaties or whatever, that's the law of the universe. She always talks about big things. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, well, our good friend Sue Beth Carlson could not be here today, but she asked me to read this introduction for a tribute that she created for a very special Falmouth woman. Sue Beth wrote and recorded the song that will follow this. In honor of a spirit-filled leader with a big heart, Reverend Sarah Maria Allenby, who has served the UU in Falmouth well, will be giving her last talk there a week from Sunday on November 5th at 10 a.m. This song, Heart Condition, was written for all you empaths, HSP, highly sensitive people, and those like me with leaky valves and enlarged hearts. But it's really for anyone with a heart.
I've got a heart condition and it makes me isolate. This condition also leads me to intensely palpitate. And so I feel very deeply energy that all surrounds. It's the rhythm for my song and the source of all the sound. It's a heart condition, unconditionally heart finds us where we are and helps us do our part. It's a heart condition. It's a heart condition. It's a heart condition. I've got a heart condition and things flow in both directions. Fear provides the movement and love finds the connection. Empathy is flowing and it doesn't matter where. It's the rhythm of the world finding what it means to care. and my heart is growing bigger from all that it must do to keep everything flowing so that lips do not turn blue. We've got a heart condition and it brings us to our knees and causes us to rise and dance as freely as we please. And it loves us when we falter and it holds us when we freeze. It carries with resilience every walk through times as these. It's a heart condition, unconditionally hard. Finds us where we are and helps us to our heart. It's a heart condition. It's a heart condition. It's a heart condition.
Well, I can't believe our time is almost up. It always just whizzes right by. Another definition for the word spirits is distilled alcoholic beverages. So, my final poem of the evening is for my dear and darling departed dad. It's called Mean Martini. Mean Martini. Father was a jolly drunk, dunking cocktail onions and olives in vermouth and gin. His father taught him well that drowning road to alcoholic hell. My father, through iron will, held his attorney self in check. Still, the strong longing often left him gasping. Quitting time was the sublime moment of the day for him. The bar clock rocked back 6 p.m., 5 p.m., 4 p.m., 3. He would say, never too early for a mean martini. On a twisting Virginia road one red-eyed Saturday night, a cop stopped him. DUI. A week later, on the same stretch of road, the same cop watched him fly by pie-eyed. Lost his license, tossed into rehab, endless months later, released, clean, gleaming like the photo album dad we used to know. So, love you, Dad. This edited performance will be shown on FCTV's Channel 13, its YouTube channel, as well as via Roku and Apple TV. Friends out there, wherever you are, friends, if you'd like to come, we do have audience members tonight, which is really nice. If you'd like to come and join us for the evening to enjoy the entertainment live, or if you would like to join us and come be a part of Poetic License and actually get up and perform, we invite you. Our next Poetic License will be Thursday, November 16th. It's a little early because of Thanksgiving is the week after that. The suggested theme is wonder. It's wonder. Heads up about the future, December's theme will be peace. You can sign up by sending a text to our producer, Tony Sedera. His email is tony@fctv.org. Thank you again, Tony, for your wonderful help. Thanks to the camera crew. Thank you, performers. We love you for sharing your incredible talents, one and all. So until we meet again, peace and shine on, everybody.